Let's bring in our panel. Retired NYPD detective and CEO of the Brosnan Investigative Group, Pat Brosnan, and spokesperson for the National Police Association, and retired Chicago area police officer Betsy Brantner-Smith. Pleasure to see you both. Pat, I want to start with you. So the FBI has now contacted authorities in Mexico. Does that signal to you? Where is this going? Where do we go next?
Well, I would say with exactly what your prior guest mentioned about forensic genealogy. It's completely magic. I mean, this is the best trick of all in technology in 2026. The FBI will lean heavy into that, but it'll be just traditional investigative steps. It's moving way, way, way too slow in terms of laboratory analysis results and all the testing that would have been done regarding all of those cell towers that are up there, 19 of them in the Catalina foothills. They all have data, whether it's a burner phone or not. Why it takes so long? We're in the third week. And I still, for the life of me, after 4 decades as a detective, don't know exactly what crime was committed. It's still unclear, even at the base level. This is a confounding and baffling case.
Betsy, what's your read at this point?
Well, I live here, and I'm really glad that the feds are getting involved with this and contacting the Mexican authorities. 69 miles south of Nancy Guthrie's house is a town of 300,000 people called Nogales, Sonora, Mexico. People move back and forth constantly from Arizona to Mexico, and, hardworking people, law-abiding people, and criminals as well. So I'm glad that we're working with the Mexican authorities. And this is a perfect example, this case, when you talk about all the resources being expended. This is why the defund the police movement was so insane. And it was big here in Pima County in 2020 and 2021. Our sheriff's department is short-staffed. They have some leadership issues, but these cops are working hard because they want justice for Nancy Guthrie.
So, Pat, the Sheriff Nanos out there in Pima County, he recently came out and said, we tell that monster, just let her go. Let her go. Now, is that him being hopeful and trying to stay positive for the Guthrie family, or do you think maybe he knows something more than he's leading on to?
It's difficult to say with any precision, but the reality is the reward money has to go up. And the reality is someone somewhere on planet Earth, and a lot of someones, know precisely who this guy is, not just from his gait and his movement and his posture and his arm swing, but also from the set of his eyes and all the stuff that the mask, ironically, did not conceal. It actually revealed. But it's going to take someone to have the nerve, the gumption, and the loyalty to pick up the phone and risk being hurt in the future and given his name. His name is well known. Someone cuts his hair, someone does his dry cleaning, someone makes a coffee for him at Starbucks. They know who this guy is. They just got to pick up the phone, and they won't do it without cash. I had networks of snitches in the Bronx as a detective. Every single one of them worked and worked well because we paid them well. Got to get the money out there.
Yeah, Pat, I know you've been talking about that reward, that it's got to go up, 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 and hasn't gone up much. It's still at it was $50,000 now, $100,000. Yeah, all right, Betsy. Being local in that area, do you feel that all of this is moving too slowly, that the investigation is moving too slowly, or do you think that there's a lot of information that is just not being shared with the public?
I think that's your problem. What we have here is a situation where in an ordinary situation, you would see daily press briefings, and ideally it would be with the sheriff and the FBI or the sheriff's PIO. He's not allowing that to happen. So you see these weird shotgun interview after interview in his office, and he keeps saying different things. He cleared the family, and then he kind of walked that back and just said they've been victimized, but everyone's still a suspect. Communication is the problem. The investigation is moving properly, but everyone in this area, of course, like everyone around the world, wants to see it resolved, especially to bring Nancy Guthrie home and get justice for her. The elderly people here are terrified.
I bet.
It needs to stop.
Yeah. Again, the world truly is watching. And again, just being right there, especially Betsy, I can't imagine how overwhelming those feelings must be. Again, thank you so much for joining us. And Pat, we appreciate your joining us as well. Actually, while we do have you, I want to ask you another question, Pat. You've been talking about this reward money. Do you think that if the reward isn't high enough, say, okay, now at $100,000, do you really think someone who might know something, who recognizes that guy that we've been watching the video, will simply just be sitting on their hands, just kind of twiddling their thumbs? I guess not if they're sitting on their hands, it'll be one or the other, but just waiting for that number to go up?
I do, and I do. The fact is, they're not going to do it. The original reward money was $2,500, which is an absolute insult to snitches around the world. They won't do it for cheap. They won't, because their throat may be slit at a later date if it becomes
All right, Pat,
learned.
we're going to have to, I'm sorry, I just asked you that, but we are just going to have to jump out because President Trump is speaking now.